I know I go down these like nerdy rabbit holes here, but when I did the smelling salts a moment ago, I sniffed with both nostrils, but it came in mainly through my left nostril.
Right.
And so I asked Noam Sobel, what's the deal with this left nostril, right nostril stuff? You know, you have the yogis, the switching of the nostril things. Here's what's wild. This is so wild. It turns out that every 2 hours or so, the dominant breathing nostril switches. Now,
Really?
Now that could be interesting or that could not be interesting, right? There are a lot of things in biology that happen, but like, what is the meaning? Turns out it's a direct reflection of a shift in your so-called autonomic nervous system from parasympathetic dominant to sympathetic dominant, meaning from more relaxed to more alert. And this is happening periodically throughout the day like a seesaw and during sleep. So this whole thing with the yogis of, breathe through one nostril or the other nostril, look, the olfactory bulbs, there's a lot of crossing over of information at later stages and even some early stages once the information gets to the brain. So that whole thing is probably a little bit like weak sauce. But this idea that you're breathing easier through one nostril or the other is reflecting an underlying brain state and body state. That is absolutely true, he tells me.
Wow.
And the last thing is, you said, why would bears or bloodhounds have such better smell? Well, in the case of a bear, the size of the olfactory bulbs and the amount of brain real estate devoted to processing that information is much more. So we have a huge visual cortex. Most of our brain, frankly, is devoted to vision and to movement. Whereas, the brain of let me think of like a turtle, it's mostly movement. They have very low cerebral cortex. Maybe that's not the best example, but certainly in a scent hound, the olfactory bulbs are much bigger than they are in a sight hound. And both of those have olfactory bulbs that are much, much bigger than Jamie's bulldog over there. Those guys sniff all the time, but they're mostly snorting, trying to get scents in. Their sense of smell is much, much worse than Marshall's, than your dog. Because Marshall's a retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense because he can smell his ball. Like if I throw his ball and he misses it, he just starts doing a circle and then he finds it with his smell, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Smells his ball, Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. So what Noam is saying is not that humans have smell that is as good, but that when you push the conditions, you can reveal a heightened sense of smell that most people don't think humans have. Now, as I say this, there are a lot of people out there, and it's usually women who are like, oh no, I can smell everything. I can smell the subtlest difference. And so it might be something related to maternal behavior. It might be something related to estrogen. It might be something in the Y chromosome that suppresses that. We don't know. But some people are very olfactory. They can smell when somebody's not feeling right or when they're not feeling right.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely the case that we're constantly taking the chemicals off other people through shaking hands, through hugging, rubbing them on ourselves, analyzing our own smells unconsciously.
I always say that I can smell bullshit.
You probably can.
But I don't know if I really can smell it. But when someone's lying, I feel like there's a smell.
There could be the stress. It could be a certain, we talk about stress as one thing, but stress is the dosing of different levels of cortisol, epinephrine. People that are pathological liars, they can probably do it without evoking those things. Then you have things like pupil size. Bigger the pupils, more arousal, right? The more stressed somebody is, right? We know this, right? That's why, like if somebody takes a stimulant, their pupils will get huge.
There's a thing that people do when they're full of shit where they're anticipating your response in a different way. Like when someone's telling the truth, like if you tell me the truth, you seem relaxed to my response. Like you're telling me, even if it's something that you're not proud of, you're telling me the truth. This is the thing. When someone's lying, it's almost like they're waiting to see how you buy it.
So that it's like their defenses are up. They counterpunch quick.
They're selling it. They say it, and they're like, does he buy it? Like you feel the does he buy it, and like, ooh, you're full of shit.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me think about this. So you are able to sense their anticipation of your response. It's like they've got queued up some evaluating whether you're going yes, no, or maybe.
Yeah, but it's not reliable. Like I just to be completely honest, I've been bullshitted before, but I think I'm better at it than most, and I think maybe that's because I've had more conversations with people than most people have. But it's not 100%. Sometimes people are full of shit, and you're not sure, or you have your defenses down.
I mean, I've been badly manipulated before.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.